Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King, and today I'm going to be giving you part 9 of What If Naruto Became the New God of Apokolips. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends in your social media platform, and also guys, don't forget to go ahead and check out the other What Ifs over the other channels. Yes, I indeed have 4 of them which I post What If on every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead and smash that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and your support. And remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new so I can welcome you personally. And don't forget to turn on the bell notification to see exactly when I post, because I do post a hell of a lot. So without further ado or wasting more time, what do you say we jump right into this? Begin now guys. So, the last spot we left off, Wonder Woman showed why she was a daughter of Zeus, as she controlled the lightning. She released it in a wild tendency, forcing all the Red Lantern's members to step back, as this was out of their league. This was something they could not handle. They would like to talk to their boss. That is what Wonder Woman told them. She also said that Naruto was in there as well with her, despite Naruto not saying no such thing. But how could he deny her that now, after she spent the entire time coming here with him to make sure that he was safe? He could not disappoint her, so he kept his mouth shut. The Red Lanterns agree with a sinister smile. The ball, round one that was, well, looking like a baseball. He was grinning as he agreed. They soon left the planet, and the Green Lantern informed them that they were gonna exterminate the planet. They had a robot of sorts that could wipe out the entire planet by itself, as Naruto would have the people move from said planet so they would not be destroyed. Therefore he summoned Enchantress. Wonder Woman's surprised because she never knew that he had powers regarding spells or anything like that. Enchantress came there. She seemed to have a little crush on Naruto, big one, as she wanted to please him. He freed her and now he was her companion. She was a bit upset though, that she was not going to be here with her for this. But she would do what he says, because it would make her closer to being his number 2. And that is all that she wanted. So they left Enchantress behind to do her thing, with the Green Lantern helping her to save the people of this planet, as they made their way deeper into the Forgotten Zone, Lobo leading the way. Back on Earth, Slade found himself in front of the demon head, that being Ra's al Ghul. Slade had joined the organization some time ago, as he wanted to take it over, become the leader of this organization, so he would have an army prepared whenever Darkseid decides to make his attack against the Earth, along with his son Nathaniel and his other son and daughter army that will protect them. But things were not going as expected. Ra's daughter was there, Talia, and Talia's son Damon was there as well, grandson of the demon. As Slade wanted to know who exactly was this boy, it was a photo of Naruto in there with his mask on though. They did not believe Slade when he said that he was dead, as Raz believed that Slade was hiding something big away from him. Once Slade was dismissed, Raz brought them to a room. On the camera it showed Slade's ex-wife, tied up and bloody. She was alive though. Raz was not the one that kidnapped her, because that would be going against Slade and the promise that he made with him. That is when Raz told them that he was a part of an organization that would bring a change in this world. They called themselves the Light. There was a lot of them, armies of them from different areas, immortals, magicians, sea creatures. There was so much of them. The members were shocked to hear how far Raz had gone into things to know that he has been planning this for some time now. However, as he was discussing everything and he came to an end, one of their members were attacked. It turns out that it was Slade's son. Raz asked if the other one was there, but they got no description of that one here. And there was another one here as well that seemed to be close to him. The base was being overrun. Unaware to Raz, Naruto had been the one to assign the mission to Joseph to go ahead and take over this base and liberate it. However, Raz wanted to find Naruto, believing that it was Slade's weakness, and not to mention, his curiosity in Slade hiding this person was peak. He was unaware that he was messing with forces that were outside of his control, a being that could literally wipe away the planet by himself. Raz was too cocky because of his organization, unaware that he was gonna start something that he could not handle, something that would lead to his downfall. After all, the demon has been living for centuries now, but his one mistake was gonna cost him. So yeah guys, basically as we left off, you guys can switch across the place, check it out for yourself. So what do you say? We jump right into this brand new episode. Don't forget to turn on the bell notification and see exactly when I post. So let's begin now guys. We begin this episode 45 minutes earlier before Raz got the call that one of the members of the Light was being attacked by none other than Slade's son. Wake up. Meet me at the training center now, Joseph said as he sent out a mental link to all the members of the Royal Flush Unit and the Ultiman, and also the Sub-Commander, Lady Shiva, and the Hive Queen, who was his sister, Rose Wilson. All members were gathered in about 5 minutes. As they got in there, Joseph, who was going by the name Jericho for his persona, Lord Jericho, what seemed to be the matter? Tell me, so I may soothe your anxiety as quickly as possible, Lady Shiva said worriedly. Lady Shiva was a tall, slender woman who appeared to be rather young. She has short, raven hair. She was wearing black lipstick and brown eyes. She also has a noticeable large bust and a pale complexion. She is wearing a skin-tight bodysuit with long sleeves and shoulder pads, and a diamond-shaped hole on her sternum. The bodysuit is gold in color with black stripes looped around it. Soothing his anxiety is my job, not yours. Do not forget your place, Shiva, Rose spat venomously. We are all on the same side here. I am loyal to Lord Jericho. I am loyal to Hive, Shiva said calmly. Loyal my foot. Enough, Joseph said mentally, stopping the argument between the two. Thank you, he said, as they calmed themselves. I am going to get straight to the point. My mother has been kidnapped. I, Lady Shiva, and the Royal Flush Unit will be leaving immediately to go and rescue her. The rest of you must stay behind to monitor the facility to make sure that this is not a scheme to distract us from an immediate attack, said Joseph. You can't go without me. I'm coming, Rose said. No, you're not, said Joseph. You must make sure that our organization, and therefore our interest, is protected. The most effective way for us to look out for each other is to handle different tasks at the same time. You know this, Rose, said Joseph, as Joseph was a lot more comfortable talking out loud now because he no longer have artificial vocal cords, seeing that Naruto had regenerated his vocal cords for him. Rose did not say anything to what he just said. However, her face looked hurt. Don't be like that. You know what Nathaniel said was true. So that we can become stronger together, we must first learn how to be stronger on our own. Distance is meaningless, so long as our hearts and our minds are one. Joseph tried to persuade and soothe his sister at the same time. I know. It's just not easy, that's all. It feels like a part of me is being ripped out every time I'm separated from you, Rose said sadly. The feeling is mutual, but in case one day that we're forcefully separated, for one reason or another, we must learn to overcome that feeling, Joseph said. Okay, I get it. Just go already. Go get your mother back. The more you stay here, the more she suffers. As she walked over to her brother and gave him a strong and warm hug. Thank you, sister. I love you, he said, returning the hug. I love you too, she said. Time skip. 1 hour later. Is it me? Or did that guy just turn into a humanoid? Puff outer, Ten said incredulously, as he watched a Cobra soldier turn into a literal snake humanoid hybrid. And that was the name of that kind of snake, a puff outer. As he was now 3 times his original size, growing scales all over his body, and elongated poisonous teeth. He also seemed to have grown a long tail on his back that was whipping around, smashing everything to smithereens. As for Ten is a big muscular guy, African American lineage. He was wearing a sleeveless, black and gold, Hive, combat uniform, with a number 10 playing card, insignia, on the back. He does not appear to have any weapon on him, even though as a Hive official, he was being trained and groomed in all form of combat, included, but not limited, to weapon combat as well. He was also being trained how to use hand-to-hand combat, which was his greatest strength and asset, as he was someone with invulnerability and super strength for his superpowers. No, you're not wrong, I see it as well. But I believe that we got this covered, Queen said to him. Queen, she was a beautiful Caucasian, late teens, with silver and white hair. She too was wearing the gold and silver Hive uniform with long sleeve, with the insignia of Queen on the back of the playing cards on her back. Unlike Ten, she had weapons. She was carrying her own form of compressed spears of metals that were floating around her. Some were made from platinum, some of gold, and some of silver, carbon steel, stainless steel, and more. She even had her own body covered in platinum to enhance her durability and her own strength as well. Needless to say, the Cobra soldiers that were working for the light stood no chance. The 2 Hive agents, eviscerating all of them. Ten simply tanked all the bullets with his durability, using his super strength to easily kill all his opponents, while Queen used her platinum armor to shield herself from the throwing knives and bullets, as she used the compressed metals all around her to fire them as deadly projectiles, slaughtering everyone in their path. The door in front of them opened up to show more mutated soldiers, all of them being a sort of snake venom type, with poisonous fangs. Okay, 1 snake man is a coincidence, 2 is an anomaly, but 10? Nah, this Cobra organization is definitely been up to some illegal human experiments. I hate illegal human experiments, Ten said darkly. Me too, said Queen. The both of them had been placing experiments since they were children, so this truly pissed them off. Let's get them, said Ten, as the both of them moved forward. A serpent tried to bite Ten, however, he did not pay her any attention as Queen simply skewered it with a spear to the head. As they moved, the other remaining serpents were trying their best to stay alive and attack at the same time, but they were being overwhelmed by the 2 Hive soldiers. Ten was now clashing against the leader of the snake's experiment. His name was Blackadder, as he was extending his body extremely long, trying to wrap around Ten as he was trying to crush him in his grasp. Ten picked up one of the blades that were left behind by one of the many soldiers as he moved forward, this time with a speed that caught the snake man completely off guard as he bisected him. Impossible. How did you move that fast? I thought you only had super strength. You have super speed as well? Blackadder said in complete pain. Super strength? Super speed? As if. My power is not super strength or super speed. My power is super athleticism. Speed and strength just happen to be components of athleticism. As Blackadder was shocked at his words and feared that he was about to die, as Ten drove the blade through his heart before tearing off his head just to make certain. As for Queen, she called the metal as it wrapped around her arms into long, sharp spears as she entered close combat. As Ten watched her obliterate the army in front of her, her speed was incredible because she was not moving her body, she was moving the metal around her, making her extremely fast. Whoa, she said. We're done at last. Took longer than I expected. But once we figured them out, it was easy as pie. Girl, I feel you. You're one badass woman. And we make a mean team. Remind me never to get on your bad side, said Ten. Don't worry, my love, she said. I won't hurt you, as long as you behave, she said in a playful tone, trailing a finger across his chest. They were dating after all. Her action caused him to get all flustered. Shit, he couldn't get a boner right here, as they were invading a military base. God damn you, woman, he said. Wait for me, he called out. Meanwhile, at the west gate, you all are about to die now, Jack said to the people around him, and I won't even have to lift a finger, as him and Ace had revealed themselves to the enemy. Jack was a slender, tall, blonde-haired 19-year-old, with a goatee, azure eyes. He was wearing the uniform, with the Jack card on his back. Ace, on the other hand, is a 16-year-old teen, with black hair and black eyes. She was a shorter one in terms of height. She had the ace of cards on her back. Intruders! Kill them! Kill them now! The leader of the Cobra squad of the West Gate ordered. His men started raining bullets towards them. However, Ace raised her hand, stopping every single bullet, all 200 rounds in mid-air, as she used her telekinesis, scaring the shit out of all of the guards as they realized they were screwed. The leader quickly gave an order for his sniper to fire at her blind spot, but even that came to a stop as well. The bullet of the sniper quickly fired back towards him as it fly right between his eyes. She doesn't just have telekinesis, you idiot. She has telepathy as well. You cannot surprise us, or rather, you cannot surprise her, said Jack in a jovial tone, as the guards were sent into a darker pit of despair, realizing just how screwed they are. What do you think I should do, Jack? Kill them slowly and painfully, or end it fast? Ace asked as her tone was sinister. Fast and efficient. Lord Jericho's mother is our target. We can't afford to mess around, unfortunately. Quick and painless then, she said as she hurled the bullets forward, killing off 80% of them. The others were able to find cover, including the leader. Wow, these guys are good. I can't believe that some of them actually survive. I guess it's my turn, said Jack. Two of the guards came out as one fired towards Ace, the other one fired towards Jack, so they could kill him, believing that she was the heavy hitter here. So once they kept her distracted, they could kill the other one. However, Jack catch all of them with his belly. His body was rubber, as he pulled back before shooting the bullets forward with his belly as they move at insane speeds back towards them. Both guards were torn apart rather easily. 8 down. 1 more to go, Jack said in a bored tone. Just do us a favor and stop wasting our time. You're going to die here, and there's nothing that you can do about it. We'll see about that, the squad leader said as he turned into a gigantic serpent creature right in front of their eyes. But before he could move, bullets rained down on him, tearing him apart. Jack looked up to see that Ace had leveled all the guns up in the air and released the hail of bullets, tearing him to pieces. I did not even get the chance to be surprised by his transformation, and you already kill him. You're no fun, said Jack, in a whiny tone. I seem to recall you being the one say, we should not play around, because the mission revolves around Lord Jericho's mother, said Ace. Whatever, let's just go and get her and get out of here, as they made their way inside. Meanwhile, at the North Gate, watching King and Lady Shiva do their thing was something Joseph never thought he could get enough of. They blended perfectly together, despite the both of them never being on a mission together before. Lady Shiva was most impressive. Considering that she did not have any superpowers, she might as well have. To how fast, agile, precise, and mobile she was. She was dodging and even blocking bullets. Of course, she was not actually faster than bullets. What she was doing was analyzing the trajectory of the bullets and moving right before they could hit. But the fact that she was doing this against multiple people showed that her talent and training has pushed her to meta-human levels. Her sword was a special design from Hive. It was hard and sharp enough to cut right through bullets. She was also able to close the distance between her enemies at a rapid speed as she cut them down. As for King, he was a high-level metahuman. He could turn himself into a literal human torch. The only reason he did not like to use that form in battle before, it's because it's always burning his clothes to asunder, and it left him naked. That is why he decided to develop his hand-to-hand combat skills, and his weapon skills to an extent, like Shiva. His skills, and training almost, made you doubt that he wasn't using some kind of metahuman powers. He had adopted to use his metal cane to conduct and transfer, and shoot his fire and plasma energy, and also use in close combat as well. The cane was also fitted with retractable swords and knife that he could use to stab and slice his opponents. But right now he did not have to worry about destroying his clothing because, just like how they did for Jack, they developed a special suit for him that served as a conductor of his powers. Meanwhile, with Jericho, at this rate, I won't even have to lift a finger to save my mom. He was still wary, of course, as he was sure that multiple alarms have already rang in the Cobra secret base. This meant that the Cobra leader already knew that he was here and could try and kill his mother before he got there. However, on the other hand, why kidnap her in the first place if they were just gonna kill her? Obviously, whoever kidnapped her wanted to use her as leverage. Leverage for what and use against who? Joseph had no idea, despite spending this time scanning all the members that they came across so far, trying to find out if they knew anything, but they were just foot soldiers. Whoever he or she was, the leader here was keeping the cards close to their chests. He doubted that the person was after him, most likely his dad, or at the very least, his dad had something to do with his mom getting kidnapped. But it did not matter right now. All he wanted to do was secure his mother's safety. And if that could not happen, he would kill every single soldier in this base. He would hunt them all to the ends of the earth. "It is done, my lord. We can now proceed beyond the North Gate," King said obediently. Joseph then saw a gigantic gate coming towards them. However, he was able to stop it in a second. The thing was massive, over 30 tons, and it was flying at them at over 150 miles per hour. It was able to show the depths of Joseph's power, as he was able to stop it within a second. He moved the metal door up to show what he was dealing with. It was a gigantic humanoid serpent. This one was bigger than all the others. "I think that is out of my league, unfortunately," Lady Shiva said calmly. Realized that being the most skilled female martial artist in the world did not mean anything against this creature of that size and strength. Her sword would probably feel like a toothpick against this creature. "I'll handle it," said King as he stepped forward. Flame on! His skin and clothing turned completely red, as he looked like a being made of complete energy alone. As King jetted off, moving at Mach 3, as he burst right through the serpent's chest. No hesitation. His plasma energy tearing right through the beast's flesh, incinerating its organs. Impossible, the creature said, surprising them that he could talk, as he looked down towards the hole that was in his chest. "I'll kill you all," it said, as it was not yet down, as it raised its fist and drive it down. But it paused, as Joseph took complete control over it. The thing eyes turned blue, as it stopped. "You're overmatched," Joseph said, as he read the creature mind to find out how it came to be. "The Cobra mutant responsible for creating you is not a failure. You are no doubt stronger than when you were a normal human. However, you may be a biological weapon of destruction, but Hive are much more superior than the likes of you. Hive is the future, and as a result, Cobra only has two choices: to become assimilated or eliminated. Your superiors will have to pick their poison," Joseph said, as he dropped the gate on top of it. It was already gonna bleed out and die anyway from King ripping through it, but the gate coming down completely smushed it into the ground. "King, get rid of the body," said Joseph, with pleasure, as King reduced it to ashes, as he burned the other corpses, allowing them free rein to walk right into the base. Well, more like flying. Meanwhile, back at Nanda Parbat, "I'm going to assume that Cobra sent a copy of the footage to you, and you watched it with your closest confidants. Ra's al Ghul asks. You assume correctly. The man on the screen that he was talking to replied. He's a tall and muscular man. He appeared to be at the absolute peak of human condition. In fact, he was maybe beyond human physical peak. He has black hair that reached up to his neckline, 3 piercings across his face that made him seem like he was clawed across the face by a wild animal, and an equally black trim beard. Next to him are his 2 closest daughters, Cassandra and Scandal Savage. I owe you a debt for exploring the treachery of one of my own, someone I took into my home, someone I adopted into my own circle. He has betrayed me, and he must pay. You have my gratitude, Ra's al Ghul said. As do you. Had you not asked this favor of me, the light would not know of this hive existence, nor the existence of this Nathaniel Wilson. The only question I have is, what exactly do you intend to do about Deathstroke? I ask, not with the intentions of interfering with your operation, but only for the larger ramification of killing such a man, especially in recent revelation, Vandal Savage said. You are worried that it might cause Hive to come after the shadows. Ra's asks, not just the shadows, but the light itself. Why go to war when you can make peace? Why burn bridges when you can build them? Said Savage. You intend to offer membership of the light to Hive. To Nathaniel Wilson, Ra's asks, surprised. Why not? I know that you intended for him to be your successor, and I do not mean to step on your toes, but as you can see for yourself, he has already grown a very powerful organization of his own. What are the chances that he would leave the organization that he built to join yours? Could we, he said, fixing his wording, not mentor him as an equal member of the light, dedicated to the same goals of pushing humanity towards its full potential? Savage said. That is with the belief that he is the actual leader of Hive and the founder. There is still the possibility that Deathstroke is the leader of this organization and thus has infiltrated the League to take us down from within, Ra's said. To what end? Why would he go so far to get rid of the shadows? Isn't it more likely that he wants to take over the shadows to assimilate it and its resources into the Hive? Said Savage. Ra's was quiet for a moment until he spoke. I guess there's only one course of action to take. I have to excommunicate him. The actions that he take after excommunication will lead us to the truth, Ra's replied. It seems like the best course of action, I agree. As for Nathaniel Wilson, the good thing is, now we know that he's alive and associated with Hive. To reveal his identity, we must focus our attention on Hive itself, and there are 2 ways to do that. To plant a mole in their midst, or to follow closely their activities and money trail. Keeping an eye on his father, as you suggested, might also prove to be a positive ending result. We have our work cut out for us then, said Ra's. Indeed. May your shadows conceal your movements, and may our light shine through our truths. L1 out, said Savage. As he switched off the communicator from his side. L2 out, said Ra's, as he switched off his. Are you serious, father? You're just going to excommunicate him? That's like a slap on the wrist. Less even, said Talia. In the past, I would have agreed with you. I would have already eliminated Slade Wilson for his treachery. However, my newfound wisdom as a member of the Light has made me see things differently, said Ra's. I demand an explanation, Talia said. You have the authority to demand absolutely nothing from me, but you will get one nonetheless, Ra's said with a threatening undertone, reminding Talia not to forget her place, and it did work. You see, as I explained earlier, our goal is to put Earth at the very top of the universe. It is the rightful place of the center of the universe. To that end, it is essential that people with the skills and talents of Slade Wilson survive long enough to defend Earth from the enemies that will try to lead it to ruins. We cannot allow that gene pool to be eliminated. He has already bred 2 exceptionally young boys, You have seen one of them a couple minutes ago. Why would you want Earth to lose such precious resource? Said Raz. There has already been multiple attacks from alien beings on our planet. As the light moved closer to their goal of Earth supremacy, more and more threats will be revealed. And we need people like Slade Wilson and his children to fight on our side. Even if they start to act against us, they will have no choice but to join us when it comes to the protection of the planet that we all share. Ego and pride cloud Deathstroke mind right now, but we believe it will come a time when he will see things our way, said Raz. What if he become too much of a nuisance? What if he end up threatening the very existence and secrecy of the League of Shadows? Said Bane. You need not worry. If a time like that ever comes, then I will personally deal with him, said Raz with confidence. Say we do find Nathaniel, and we try to bring Hive into the light, and they refuse us. What shall we do then? Asked Damien. That is a matter that we have not yet fully discussed, but our way and belief is, there is nothing and no one on this earth that cannot be used for the purpose of the light. The light has even used the Justice League to serve its own ends on multiple occasions. Raz said, shocking them. He ordered them to go and get some rest, so their mind could process the new things that they learned today. Time skip. Mother, no. I can heal you. I can save you. Rachel Roth cried as she approached her dying mother. Rachel possessed black hair, blue eyes. She also had pale skin. She did not seem to have any weapons on her. Her mother had a giant pillar sticking out of her torso, causing Rachel to wonder how she was even alive. But that did not weigh on her mind. Her mother was in fact alive, so she could save her. The same could not be said for the rest of the population in this pocket dimension known as Azeroth. Raven father, Trigon, had killed every person except for Rachel and her mother. No, you can't heal me. You must let me die. I am linked to your father. The ritual that was performed to summon him and to make me his bride, and my pregnancy and birth of you, has formed a very strong bond between Trigon and I. If you save me, he may use this as a way to break the seal and enter into the world. I have to die to save the world from him. Arella, Rachel's mother said, showing great strength and resilience. For her to say all of that despite the fact, well, she should have been dead already. No, I can't accept that. If I let you die, it means I will be the cause of not only all Azeroth destruction, but for my own mother death as well. I cannot live like that. I do not want to live in a world without you. Rachel cried hysterically. You don't have to. You can summon a savior, a hero, a protector. Use the same spell that was used to summon Trigon, but use it wisely. What? How could you ask it of me? You know what that spell does. It was written by demons. It must have been. It was a way to trick humans into summoning Trigon. Rachel said, listen to me, her mother said to her. The spell, like all spells, is dependent on the wording that you choose, and it can be altered or modified by a powerful, experienced magician. Arella said cryptically, I don't understand. What are you saying exactly? Rachel asked. When we summon Trigon, we asked for a strong male figure, someone who was equivalent of a god, someone who was fit and had the potential to rule and to protect the universe. However, the wording is flawed in itself, as you can imagine. Trigon has the potential to rule and protect the universe, yes, but that does not mean that he wants to protect the universe. He is the equivalent of a god, but is in fact an interdimensional demon lord. Arella explained as Raven's eyes widened, as realization dawned on her. You're saying that if I modify the spell and leave no room for interpretation, I can summon someone worthy, someone that can be my partner and help me with my destiny, someone that can be my mentor and my friend, Raven asked, hope in her eyes. That is exactly what I'm saying. Modify the spell and succeed where I fail and make it your own. Summon a true savior and protector. You can do it. I believe in you, my little raven. Arella said her last words as her soul detached itself from her body. One would have expected Raven to start crying even more. However, the moment her mother's heart stopped, she stopped crying. She had to honor her mother's dying wish. Besides, her mother believed in her, and she had no intentions of disappointing her mother. As she started with the summoning spell, laughter could be heard. A savior, a true protector? Foolish little girl, with her foolish human fantasies. There is no messiah, there is no protector and no liberator. There is only Trigon. Her father said from inside of her head, the seal that she used, the both of them having an interdimensional link. The girl that made you her bitch and sealed you away inside of her mind, rendering you powerless. Is that the foolish little girl that you're referring to? Rachel asks. She used her magic to transform her clothing from the pure white that the people wore at Azeroth into a black form-fitting uniform that came from her neck came straight down, with a hooded cloak that had a darker shade of black. Yes, the foolish the girl that believes some fairy godfather will appear out of nowhere and save her. Trigon retorted, "You seem rather eager to prevent me from performing this spell." "Why is that?" she said. "I only wish for my foolish, incompetent daughter to grow up and stop behaving like she's living in a child fantasy that your mother has filled your head with. That way she can realize that her place is at my side to help me conquer all interdimensional space," Trigon said with an almost father-like tone. "That little girl has already grown up. She's no longer scared. No, she has evolved from Rachel Rog to Raven," Raven said. She blocked out her father as she started to chant the summoning spell. "Holy and noble spirits of Azeroth, I beseech you, bring forward a worthy vessel. A vessel with the wisdom and knowledge of a wise sage. A vessel with the powers and intelligence of a god, of Abraham. A vessel with the love, righteousness, and loyalty of Messiah of Nazareth. A vessel with the courage and warrior spirit of King David, and the strength and combat acuity of Samson. Spirit of Azeroth, bring forward a vessel with the cunning and guide of a fox. A vessel whose word is his bond. Azeroth Metreon Zintos." As she focused her power into the spell, a black hole opened in front of her. As Raven looked at it, she waited, but no one came through. Instead, she was yanked. She could not summon this person, whoever it was. Instead, she was pulled towards them. She tried to fly and use her telekinesis, but it would not work. The force was so strong, she could not resist it. The last thing she heard before she was pulled through was her father. "I told you so, foolish little girl." Earlier, before this happened, at Sector 374. "So, you deliver after all. I must say, even though you're known as one of the best bounty hunters in the universe, I did not expect you to capture Nathaniel Wilson, not after everything his mother told us about us," Scott-free said, with a hint of disappointment. Typical of a new god, Scott is tall, and he has the body of, well, a god. He was not as fit and muscular as Nathaniel though. He was wearing a red and gold suit that came from top of his head down to the soles of his feet. The suit is made entirely of apocalyptic tech, which means it's invulnerable to all technology within the universe. It also had a green cape that can morph into anything that Scott could think of. It also housed many different technological weapons on it. After all, Scott-free, aka Mr. Miracle, the god of escape, is a scientific genius. If you did not expect the main man to deliver, then why did you hire the main man to begin with? Lobo said. Because he knew that Nathaniel would end up right here, right now, despite whether you brought him here or not, from your own fruition. But given what we heard from his mother about his powers and ability, we expect the latter, Big Barta said. She's a tall, muscular yet sexually appealing, curvaceous woman with black hair and brown eyes, who also appeared to have on red lipstick. She was wearing a blue and gold apocalyptic full body suit. She also had a helmet on her head that's shaped like a deer horn. Some red highlights on her armor as well. For a weapon she's carrying, a mega rod and a mega staff as well. Both of them retractable, therefore easy to behold on her person. She also has a mother box situated on her weapon compartment as well. Tuh! Is this cheesy apocalyptic? Underestimating the main man. Perhaps the main man will accept a bounty on you one day, and then you will see the superior being is, Lobo said. Pardon the miscommunication. Great. Bounty Hunter Lobo. My wife does not mean to say that you're weak, but rather she expected more from Nathaniel. You are no doubt strong, hence the decision to hire you in the first place, Scott said, trying to calm him down, but Lobo simply growled at that. In any case, your payment will be wired to you in immediate effect, and a 100% bonus. Think of it as a gesture of goodwill. As he projected the screen from his wrist, as he typed in the account, Lobo device beeped as he pulled it out looking at it, seeing that the money had been transferred. Well, okay, consider the main man impressed, and most importantly, satisfied. As Lobo started to walk away. Where do you think you're going? Barta asks. She did not like the lack of respect and formality of Lobo's departure. I'm sick of this new god bull crap. If I see a new god anytime soon, it will be too soon. I expect you to open a fracking boom tube the moment I start up my ship, Lobo said without even turning to look back at Scott's wife. How dare you show me your back, you mindless savage. You will die for your insolence, Barta said angrily, as she pulled out her mega staff and started to gather a large energy on the tip of it. No, Barta, do not burn any bridges that we might need in the future. Let him go. His lack of etiquette and formality aside, he has delivered on his promise. He has brought us Nathaniel Wilson, Scott said, pushing her mega staff down. Fine, she said, but only because you said so, and because I love and respect you, she said, as she retracted the staff. As Lobo started his ship, Scott opened a boom tube and Lobo was gone. As they turned their attention back towards Nathaniel and his beautiful counterpart. Okay, Nathaniel, you can drop the charade now, said Scott. Everyone, including his wife, looking at him, utterly confused. Your armor and clothing is in complete condition. There's not even a single scratch on you. Certainly Lobo did not defeat you otherwise. You would not be in such pristine condition. Also, I happen to know that the power in those restraints are not strong enough to restrain celestial magic or cosmic energy. It is a nice trick, but I am the god of tricks and escape, as you well know, said Scott, his wife eyes wide in realization. Impressive. God of escape scot-free, aka Mr. Miracle. Words alone cannot describe how impressed I am, said Naruto, as he flexed his arms, the cuffs exploding off him. Diana doing the same. There was no longer to keep up the facade. You tricked Lobo into thinking that he'd defeat and capture you, but you should have known better that it wouldn't work on me, said Scott. On the contrary, I did not trick him. He was in on it, but he had no choice because he could not force me to come here if I did not want. So, I allowed him to take us here, seeing that to fulfill his promise that he made. I see, and Wonder Woman. Why would Lobo agree to bring her? Bringing her here was not a part of the deal, Scott said suspiciously. I hired him to abduct her and bring her here, said Naruto. I see. So you thought she could take care of Barta while you take care of me? Quite the mysterious planner, aren't you? Scott said as he tried to understand what kind of person Nathaniel was. He was impressed thus far. Actually, I initially attempted to came alone, but she was having none of that. As Naruto activated the Flying Thunder God technique and teleported Diana and his weapons back to them, surprising the two gods. Honey, did you? Yes, my love. I saw it, said Scott, as the weapons appeared out of nowhere. Before we decide what to do with you, tell me, how is my mother? How is her current status, said Naruto, his tone becoming dangerous. Your mother is fine. She had the opportunity of alerting the other Furies and stop us from escaping Apokolips. But she chose not to. Instead, she told us about you, told us to find you. She said that you will help us to blend in on Earth, and that you are building an army to oppose my adopted father, Lord Darkseid. She said that you were the most talented new god that has ever been born, the most powerful, more powerful than High Father, more powerful than Darkseid, more powerful than Orion, and more powerful than me, said Scott. And did she say she wanted you to join me, to become my partner, said Naruto, to become your generals, with you as our supreme commander, said Barta. It seems unlikely that you will simply submit to him, without at least verifying his power. How do you know that he's as strong as his mother said that he was? How do you know that he's a real deal? And by the way, how do you even know about me? Diana said, speaking up for the first time. You are an inspiration to me. It is through you and watching your heroics that I managed to see the truth of what Darkseid truly is and which side I should be fighting for. Well, through you and my husband, that is to say, said Barta. Diana was shocked, having no idea that her heroics had inspired someone from a different dimensional space. And as for why we would follow Nathaniel, it's because I do not need to fight him. The Alpha effect, the source of my power, allows me to sense cosmic and magic energies. In fact, all forms of power. The power coming from Nathaniel is a real deal, even if he's suppressing and hiding it. Besides, the fact that Wonder Woman herself is by his side tells me all I need to know. And by the way, your power is quite impressive as well, Wonder Woman. I see. So, did you detect anything, she asks, directing her question towards Nathaniel. They're both telling the truth. There's only positive emotions coming from them, said Naruto. Well, that's good news. If they're as powerful and skilled as you say they are, and as honorable as they seem to be, then the Justice League will welcome them with open arms. Their addition to the Earth, mightiest heroes, will make it a safer place, said Diana, with a happy smile. However, her words confused the new god couple, and Naruto as well. The Justice League is the army that you're building. I was not aware that you're their supreme leader, Barta said in surprise. That's because I'm not. Then who is? Superman? Are you Superman's subordinate? How are we supposed to follow you if you're a mere subordinate yourself, Barta asks. I am not Superman's subordinate, nor am I a member of Justice League, said Naruto. I also have no intentions of joining the Justice League. Diana's eyes widened as she then realized. I'm sorry. I just assumed because, she stuttered. As Naruto realized that it was sheer naivete and innocence that was coming from her. Look, Diana, I really do like you very much, and I would like to continue to enjoy your company and companionship. However, in the same way I did not join the DEO when I was with Kara, I will not just suddenly join the Justice League because we are compatible, Naruto explained. But why not? I mean, you need an army to defeat Darkseid if he ever come back to Earth again. There's no army better than Justice League in the universe. Besides, you're a good, decent, kind and loving person. You value life and you care about others, and you help them despite gaining nothing in return. You have all the qualities of a member of the Justice League, Diana said. Except, I am a bounty hunter, a mercenary, who was killed and will kill when I deem it necessary. I have no desire to be tied down by the Justice League narrow-minded set of morals, or its noble, unrealistic sentiments. I do what is necessary when I deem it necessary. One could say that I'm a necessary evil, said Naruto. You're not evil, I know you're not. But in hindsight, I do understand why you won't want to join the Justice League. The League principles are difficult to uphold when you believe in them, much more so when you don't. I also understand that you never once claimed to be a hero. I just wanted to have you by my side. To be by your side, she said. Her tone was dejected. I too wish to ask you to leave the Justice League and join my organization, but that would be selfish of me. It would only serve me and require you to sacrifice your membership of the Justice League. and forsake some of their ways. That being said, my arms are always open to you. If you should decide that you want to be on my side, I will accept you with open arms, Naruto said. So wait, does that mean you're breaking up with her? Barta said. No, said Naruto. I mean technically, we weren't even together. I don't have a problem with her remaining in the Justice League while I continue to do what I do in the shadows. However, she must understand as long as she's in the league, I cannot share anything with her about my dealings. Nor should she share any critical information about the league with me, said Naruto. I see. So you will continue to live completely separate lives, with different motives and ambitions, but somehow continue to love each other and be together as a couple, Barta asked. She was confused and curious as well. Well, technically, we're not a couple. We just recently gotten to know each other. But in the short time that we have known each other, we have developed a strong liking, respect, attraction, and appreciation of each other. We shall wait to see if that is enough to spark a relationship or not, said Naruto. I see. And the army meant to take on Darkseid, it exists in the form of an organization, Barta said. The organization has many goals, but defending Earth from Darkseid is one of them, Naruto replied. And what is his name? The name of the organization and the members is top secret. I cannot disclose the information with a member of the Justice League here, said Naruto. You do not trust me. I'd hope you know me better than that. How could you think I would betray you, Diana said, with a broken heart. I do trust you. That is why I will not tell you anything, said Naruto. That doesn't make any sense, she said. He means to say that he doesn't want to put you into a situation where you will have to be disloyal to him or to Justice League, where you will be forced to betray one or the other. To put simply, he doesn't want you to have to pick sides, said scot-free, as Diana realized what he was trying to say. I see, she said, as she thought long and hard about it, but she came to a resolution in her mind. I understand that this means that you're operating in the gray area, maybe even in the dark. However, I know your heart, and it is good, pure and noble. I know who you are at your core and what you stand for. I feel it deep within my being. You and I are true, kindred spirits. I trust you wholeheartedly, Nathaniel, and that is good enough for me. I will not dig into your affairs, nor will I interfere with your dealings. I will recuse myself of anything that concerns you when it comes to Justice League, Diana said, with love and devotion. That is very mature of you, said Naruto, as he sounded surprised, because he could see something, a big difference between her and Kara, who had immediately called him a villain. However, said Naruto, I believe that you have not fully thought this through. What if the Justice League start to plan an attack on me in order to take me down, either permanently or imprison me? Will you participate in the attack? Will you warn me of what is coming? Will you keep quiet and say nothing? Or will you allow me to be taken down or imprisoned? What would you do in a scenario like that, said Naruto, as he wanted to make sure the hard questions were answered. I did not really think about it that far. This is quite the predicament. Essentially, without meaning to, I could end up becoming a double agent, Diana said. It seems like you have no choice but to resign from the Justice League in order to be with your man. I was too placed in a similar predicament. When I realized I became a traitor and a double agent because of my feelings for Scott, I made a decision to resign as the captain of the Furies and general of Darkseid Army and leave Apokolips with my husband. Barta said to Diana, trying to make her understand that she went through this as well, as she tried to give her some advice. That is not to say that you will or will not regret it, because not every cases are the same. However, the only way for you to truly be with Nathaniel is for either him to forsake his goals and ambitions and change his ways and align them with the Justice League, or either join Justice League or the Justice League join Nathaniel, changing their ways to match his own ways. Because if you do not change your way of thinking, You will find yourself opposing him and become his enemy, Godess said. She explained kindly and with a lot of wisdom as well. However, as soon as she finished, Naruto turned his head. The space behind him ripped open. A black wormhole opened up as it tried to pull him inside. Only him alone though. Diana stepped back as she tried to analyze what the hell was going on. As for Naruto, he was unfazed, using his own gravitational powers to prevent himself from being pulled inside as he tried to see what was on the other side. Nathaniel, I'm going to throw my lasso to you to pull you out. Do not bother. He has everything under control. I've never seen gravity manipulation to this extent. It is absolutely fascinating. And he's doing this with his own power. No technology. Without any aid of cosmic or magic affairs, Scot-free said. Yes, because drooling over his power is helpful right now, Diana said, in a rhetorical voice. This is some kind of summoning technique. A summoning spell to be more precise. Who would dare try to summon me? Who would even know how to summon me? And most importantly, who would have access to such power? Naruto thought out loud, hearing his thoughts to them. As he peered to see who was inside, he raised his hand. Universal pull, he said. But guys, if you end subscribe right here. If you want to see next person do, like, subscribe, comment down below. Turn on that bell notification, stay posted. But I'm out for now, see you guys soon. Peace.